Good evening, America. Saturday Night Live.
Everybody, what up, what up, what up? Go ahead and do the mantra, bro. I'm working on something right here. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm trying to do two things at once.
All right. All right. Here we go. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light, from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now willing commanded to be. It's now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god son Kundalini flame. Now whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakras to our central heart chakras and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakras, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster magi, dragon god, son, king, and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god, son, kings, and queens in all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now willing, aiding me now into being and becoming able of willing all the powers, all the forces, all of the essences, dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we need now to help us overcome all of the obstacles, adversities in our lives, completely dissolving all of our lack, worries, and fears and problems into nothingness, now manifesting into our lives as all of the substance that we need to will and command our life into the proper order and law that we will and command and desire it to be, as we now affirm the positive abundance in the absolute all as an eachness of oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into our reality in life as divine love, perfect health, and vitality, the abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching our lives and the lives of everyone around us while protecting us from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against us and our family, neutralizing all of our enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction upon the evil, soulless, counterfeit spirits, the ignorant, walking dead, automatons, and their Lord and God, the demiurge and its archonic forces, enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with the Alphabet who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all in its prison of this physical realm of physical matter to be born, live, suffer, and die over and over and over for centuries and millenniums until now. Because now's the time of our rise, as we all ascend to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall, as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we all now will and commanded to be, through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as We are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the libation?
Yeah, okay. The crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, Ashe. Ain
Ashe,
soft, the infinite, Ashe.
Ashe,
Ain soft, the infinite light, Ashe.
Ashe,
Adam Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days, the primordial Christ, Ashe. Atik Yaman, the, the, the big face, Ashe.
Ashe,
Absolute. Emanations, the supernal universe manifesting as our holy divine infinite magical names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe.
Ashe,
The great abyss, Gnosis, the crown of Zerampin, the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons, Ashe.
Ashe,
Yetzirah, formation, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons, Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom, Ashe.
Ashe,
Yet the holy, divine, infinite, magical, divine spark, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, divine will, Ashe.
Ashe,
Heya, the holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe.
Ashe,
Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly thoughts, Ashe.
Ashe,
Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through us, Ashe.
Ashe,
Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly soul, manifesting into physical realization, actualization of form as we are now willing commanded to be. Ashe. Kether, the supernal crown. Ashe.
Ashe,
Hakma, with the supernal father. Ashe.
Ashe,
Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother. Ashe.
Ashe,
Da, the great of gnosis. Ashe.
Ashe,
Hesed, mercy. Ashe. Gabora, judgment. Ashe. Tiferet, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Ad, glory, Ashe.
Ashe,
Yesod, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the
Ashe,
kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being, Ashe.
Ashe,
The nine, the nine elements of the dragon, earth, air, fire, water, light, darkness, spirit, the energy of the vortex, and chaos. Ashe.
Ashe,
The Palomyome spirits, Zorabanda, Ashe. El
Ashe,
Cristo Negro, Las Espiritus Tranquilos, Ashe. La
Ashe,
Santisima Muerte, Ashe.
Ashe,
San Simon, Ashe. El
Ashe,
Cristo Rey, Ashe.
Ashe,
Madre de Acua, Ashe. Madre de la Luna, Ashe.
Ashe,
La Santisima Padre Amen, Ashe.
Ashe,
Francisco de Sete Reyes, Ashe. Mama
Ashe,
Shola, Ashe.
Ashe,
The Necronomicons, Azathoth,
Ashe,
Ashe. Yaxapha, Ashe. Nyarlathotep, Ashe.
Ashe,
Cthulhu, Ashe. Hester,
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Shub-Niggurath, Ashe.
Ashe,
Lilith, Ashe.
Ashe,
Tiamat, Ashe.
Ashe,
Sekhmet, Kingu,
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ma'at, Ashe.
Ashe.
Order out of chaos beings, Ashe.
Ashe.
The beyond
Awas,
God, Ashe.
Ashe.
The Nagos, Ashe.
Ashe. Set, Ashe. Typhon, Ashe.
Osiris, Ashe.
Seven, Ashe.
Tahuti, Ashe.
Apep, Ashe. Rudra, Ashe.
Empress,
Shiva,
Ashe.
Brahma, Ashe.
Ashe.
Vishnu, Ashe.
Ashe.
And to all gods and goddesses, known and unknown,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That's how you get it in on the spiritual.
Woo. Yep, because we need energy, man.
Get it in.
Yeah,
That's spiritual
because,
exercise right there. Y'all want to get spiritual exercise in? That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Because you need it. Because right now we're getting challenged with adversity. And man, it's like right now the way I feel about adversity is I don't know if I can get enough of it. I mean, because when you go through adversity and when you're being put through the challenge, you that's when you're pulling in so much energy. You going deep within, you going in questioning yourself. I mean, that's where you find the true you.
Whatever don't
That's
kill
when
you, make it stronger.
yeah, it makes you stronger. And then you come through, and what I hate or what trips me out is like after I come through and that feeling is gone, it's like I almost want it back again because I know when I feel that way I can get through anything. I can't be stopped.
I mean, that energy can be always manifested because you never where you want to be. You always want to
Yeah.
have ambitions beyond where you comfortable. Because a lot of times people comfortable, they not where they want to be. They comfortable.
Yeah. You see, we have the ability to warp time and space with our magic. We can warp a hole in time and space for us to go through to that will lead us all the way to a certain goal or a certain point we're trying to get to.
Right, mentalism.
And yeah, and
Mentalism is one of the practices that we practice to, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like kung fu, right? It's like
mm-hmm,
somewhat like self defense because that's
mm-hmm,
where you're getting the most attacks on the psychic realm. You need to be able to get your dojo in, your psychic realm dojo in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then the mantras and all of the mantras and all of the rituals you do. This is
mm-hmm,
energy. This is energy work. You feel me? You need the
mm-hmm,
vibration and the energy in a certain place to make sure that what is synchronizing with all of what your desires or your intent is to be. People don't even understand how words itself. If you speaking every day, you're conducting magic. Okay, okay. If you're
peace,
speaking, you're conducting magic.
yeah,
So you better learn how to do it properly in the interest of your spiritual development, in the interest
and
of your. Go ahead, brother.
what's even powerful? Oh, peace, you said. But what's more powerful is the visualization that goes along with it too.
But they all work in cohesiveness with each other. You gotta have all of them for the whatever you want to come about or whatever your intent is to come about. You gotta have all of them in line. You gotta be masters of all these realms.
Yeah, the visual,
So
audio.
the visual, the audio, and the thought, which is
Yeah.
visual, audio, and it all takes place in the thought realm.
Yeah, because the universe is mental. The first law of Tahuti, the all is mental, mind.
Right.
Yeah,
You
so
have
that's where
you
all the
have
work.
to you have to master your mind. You have to. If you're not mastering
Absolutely.
your mind, then somebody else is your master right now.
Yeah, it's like someone else. You got this badass Corvette, and people just off the street just come get in the car and put you in the back seat, or well, there ain't no back seat. Just put you over in the passenger seat, and they just drive your car where they want to drive it.
It's similar to how this system is set up, where all of your rights are waived when you become a citizen. You waive your rights when you become a citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or because they say that you give up a portion of your sovereignty over to the said government or whatever, but you really give it all over. Especially, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up?
You really a slave to that society if you are not savvy enough in civics, law, and principles, and self autonomy, and being self governing. Right. This is how most people basically relinquish all of that responsibility over to the government, which is the worst mistake
Yeah.
you can ever do. That's the worst mistake you can ever do.
Well, that and turning it all over to an entity outside of you or a deity outside of
That's what we just said the same thing.
you. Yep.
I was just saying that is the point. This is, I
Yep.
call it a spiritual development. Like, you want to really be free, and you know what I'm saying, on a level where we can actually develop these techniques in our own private abode, in our own jurisdictions, where they
Mm-hmm.
can come and try to construe our behavior and our activities and attempt to, you know what I'm saying, put their own laws and regulations over what we're doing. I mean, at the end of the
Well,
day, that's the ultimate freedom, if you ask me. Everyone else, y'all own some, allow the government to do, and then don't even pay attention, be oblivious to what the actual government is actually doing. Because most people, they purposely stay oblivious to that. Like, you don't want to know what they're doing. You just want to keep being benign neglect, sitting back, allowing this stuff to happen. But that's why I ask people, those who
well,
subscribe to this, huh?
they they waiting on Jesus to come back and save them.
That's what I'm
They
saying. That's why I'm saying, if you wait, the first thing Jesus gonna come do is destroy America. The first thing Jesus gonna come back, according to y'all, he's coming to bring justice, right?
Well, the Christ energy is coming back to destroy.
No, of course, but I'm going by. I'm entertaining. Entertaining the doctrine, though. Based on y'all doctrine, Jesus is
Mm-hmm.
coming to destroy America.
Mm-hmm. And set up a whole new government.
Right. He's coming to destroy America. Well, it's not setting up. It's bringing heaven down to earth, really.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
it's supposed to. Yeah, 1,000-year kingdom
And
and
you
all
can
that
say it's
shit.
that too. You know what I'm saying? You bringing a more divine government to earth, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is why I keep telling these Christians, y'all are speaking as Christians, like the evangelistic community, especially in the white community.
Mm-hmm.
They got this twisted ass idea. If you subscribe to the Bible and all that stuff, Jesus is gonna come destroy America, okay? Because you're a patriot to America, and you saying you're a Jesus Bible thumper, Jesus lover. When we already know Jesus is a metaphor or metaphysics. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Mm-hmm.
speaking from just entertaining that logic, though. Just entertaining that logic. Justice is coming.
Yeah.
Justice is coming.
Yeah.
We call it Ma'at. Y'all probably call it
Yeah.
Jesus. We call it Ma'at.
Ma'at, Horus, Heru, the Christ. I mean, there's many, many different um, words for it, but it's going to be the same energy.
Right.
The energy is going to, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be fucked up for this third dimension paradigm. 612 commandments.
God damn.
It was
God commanded us 612 times, huh? He like, you better do that. You better. I
yeah,
understand.
bro.
I understand the in-depthness that what we calling the commandments are actually affirmations, or what they call
Mm-hmm.
it. They call affirmations, right?
Yeah, well, they got the Ten Commandments from the Confessions of Maya.
Okay, some people call it confession, some people call it affirmations, but
Yeah. Well, I was listening to Bobby Hemmett, and he was talking about that, and it wasn't referring to your physical body; it was referring to the inner soul. The
exactly,
soul saying that I have not done any of these things because it doesn't exist here.
exactly. Of
Yeah,
course, that's the
and
higher
it's almost
science. And the cool thing about it is, it seems to me that when you are exposed to that doctrine at an early age, you have such an emotional attachment to it that you're going
mm-hmm,
to register everything through that doctrine. Everything's going to
mm-hmm,
register. Now, so when you present the actual science to people, all they're going
yeah,
to do is reduce it back to what they've already been used to. Because what we're suggesting, not only suggesting, but what we've discovered based on deeper research. Because this is what the church does. The church and the religious community, they make it where it becomes very, very spooky. Everything is
oh,
spooky now. A
mm-hmm,
mystery. Everything is a mystery, and we don't know. And you feel me? But it's really the fact that the mystery is the science. Once you go into
mm-hmm,
the mystery, and once you go into the stuff that's taboo, right? The stuff that they don't want, they tell you to stay away from that. Stay away from it, right?
yeah, yeah,
But the cold thing about it is the preacher will keep you in a lower vibrational state when
mm-hmm,
he's practicing higher vibrational science.
yeah, but he's doing it only for gain.
Right. I mean, at
He's
the end
doing
of the day, they haven't they haven't even evolved beyond just three dimensional orientated
it.
perspectives, and that's all their motivations are. Is three dimensional desires and shit, right? When that's lower
Theirs is about.
vibrational right there. That's like what I'm saying is that's lower vibrational. If that's what you want, then you don't get it.
Mhm.
You just don't
Yeah,
get it.
no, their energy is about keeping the matrix going.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
They're not about the destruction of the matrix and the birth of a new kingdom, a new world.
Right.
They're about get sucking up. They're just vampires and parasites sucking up all the energy in this world, and by doing so, it'll just keep this shit going on perpetually until it just completely run out of energy and just die on its own.
That's what they want, but that's not going to happen. But because there are divine forces right now working towards creating this heaven on earth, right?
Yeah, those forces are inside of us.
No, no doubt. I agree.
Yeah,
Well, what I'm
don't.
saying is, you're right, but they manifest themselves out there um, at that big ass, what they call it, a cigarette shaped mothership that's out there floating around. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It manifested itself as the knowledge that's growing. And now we're saying that the earth, the moon, basically is some multi-dimensional uh, event horizon that we're watching, right? Meaning we're watching some portal to another dimension, basically, right? When you look at the moon, you're watching a portal to another dimension, right? And when you look at all of the planets, the sun, and all these things are just portals to other dimensions.
Well, I know the sun is a stargate,
right? The sun
but
is like a transparent, see, like an opening between worlds. It's an opening between worlds. You see how when you see a lunar eclipse, and if you look at a picture of a manhole in the street, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody had the perspective from looking up from that manhole, and it's halfway, and it appears to be halfway off of the hole, it looks just like that in the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is halfway eclipsed, right? Oh, what is actually revealing to us is that that's another world on the other side of that. We looking at that as a solidified physical object. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's a wormhole, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Well, probably wormholes all around us because we were sucked out of the original reality and put into some alternate reality in another reality separate from true reality, and to be someone else's snack and energy.
You know how they actually are creating the matrix through mind control. The mind control.
Yeah.
They create the matrix through mind control, right?
And
they have the educational system, they have the media, the whole propaganda. Everything we know literally comes from them. Everything we know, I mean, literally comes from them. And they've covered up a lot of, unless you are someone who's tapping into your genetic memory.
Yeah.
Right? Are you tapping into these higher intelligence, right? That you are a part of? You're not getting this inside information. You're getting the surface information that they want to perpetuate. It goes deep, bro. They literally have this thing that they this concept is called constructive language, right? Where constructive language, the whole intent of a constructive language is to get off the ancient perspective or the ancient understanding of the world.
Oh yeah. Well then, and so then they're trying to construct an artificial construct.
Right. They're trying to create a world in their image.
A whole nother artificial matrix, or completely an emanation, a watered down emanation of a watered down emanation.
Yes. Yes, exactly. A watered down figment of a figment of a figment of a figment of something of other that from the original intent, from the original, right? This is what we're seeing. We're seeing versions, or you know how they got something called they got that shit called cultural appropriation.
I never heard of that.
Okay, cultural appropriation is when you seeing stuff like the gypsy are a perfect example. They are the poster people for cultural appropriation because the gypsies they go around and they just see people do a certain thing and they incorporate that into their culture and that's all they do, right? That's all they do is incorporate other people's way of doing things and they incorporate it into their culture. It's called cultural appropriation. Well, guess what? The reason why you can even have a concept called cultural appropriation because there's only one culture on the planet. Everybody is just practicing one culture from the perspective of where they stand on the perspective of where they stand, basically. They're practicing the same culture though.
Oh, and that culture,
Huh?
and that primary culture.
That primary culture is observation of your environment and application based on observation.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about just your environment physically. I'm talking about your environment mentally, spiritually, vibrate vibrationally. All of these things.
Mm-hmm.
We were in tune at that level. We were in tune at that level. That we was in tune. We was so aware of our environment, of our being, that we was
That.
able to apply it. So
Mm-hmm.
we was able to apply it. It was like we can bring manifestations from other worlds, basically. You can like
Yeah. Well, see, we came out of the 0 point advanced. When we came out of 0 point and became, even though we were had to go through the illusion of separation, but we've been going through a great degree of an illusion of separation. There was a lot of things we had to become um, unaware of. But when we came out of the 0 point, we were very, very advanced beings.
right. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you see how they have instances where we was like an Atlantean type society, and then instantaneously we became primitive as hell. Like it's like somewhat, it's like in a sense, it's like somebody is tampering with that evolutionary process, right? It's similar to how what they're doing with the Mandela effect, right? With the Mandela effect, and I've already saw the Mandela effect. Mandela effect is just a result, it's just evidence that the collective consciousness can affect the reality around us. If they can affect the collective consciousness, they can affect reality all around us, right?
From what I understand, is that we allowed this to happen.
Of
We
course.
because we came to the point it was time for us to give up this physical, this whole physical dimension, and go to the next plateau. And so when we came out, going coming from the silver age into the bronze age, we let everything go so we can go through that alchemical process that we had to go through to deteriorate and ferment and, you know, just devolve to our lowest level, so that way we can become something new and greater can emerge from out of that.
Something interfered with that evolutionary process, is what I'm saying. Something
Oh, something.
interfered with it. Yes, because
Okay.
we digressed in our evolution. The brother said, "What do y'all think about the smart houses that will come with a robot maid?" That's funny.
Well,
That will come with a robot maid. I mean,
well,
at this point, we should always be skeptical of anything coming technology wise from these, you know what I'm saying, elite, bro. They setting us up. They've been setting us up. We already seen how the whole COVID pandemic was a setup. They're setting us up.
yeah,
So
okay.
you gotta recognize the setup.
Yeah, now based on the Hopi prophecy, it's happening right now. The Hopi prophecy is about humanity turning to technology. And if we turn to technology, we'll completely separate ourselves from Mother Earth, from the spirit world, from our true essence, and become some artificial being. Or we can go back to nature and go back or go to this next realm we're supposed to go to.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah.
The thing
So
about it is technology is going to alter that process
yep.
unless because there is a way to incorporate this into our next, unless we dealing with organic technology like herbs, and we dealing with crystals. We incorporating that into another level of technology and shit, because the technology around us, which is organic technology, what we're seeing as
Oh,
artificial technology is nothing more than a watered down version of organic technology. That's that layers of fluff that you were just talking about, layers of a figment of reality and shit. The real technology is organic technology, the sacred geometry that the divine intelligence is expressing itself around us. It's expressing itself. That's the Now if we can go deeper into that and then incorporate magic into it too, that was
well,
what Atlanta was doing. But what happened was the draconian energy came into Atlantis, right? And the draconian
mhm.
energy, you have to understand that that's like lower vibrational energy. That's part of the us being in a lower aspect of our evolution, right? That's a lower aspect of our evolution. It exists as what we call the draconian energy. That
Mhm.
it exists as what we call the draconian energy. So that came in, and then we start falling off the divine path where we supposed to go. I'm like, imagine we had went way more deeper into the sacred geometry around the sacred organic technology that's all around us, and evolved in that respect instead of the Western mindset, which is dominate over that, right? Which is
But
artificial
see,
artificial world, and creating this artificial world as opposed to dealing with the real organic world. Go ahead, brother.
okay, see, one thing you have to remember though, during those when the period when we were building the great monuments, I believe we
Uh-huh.
were in the golden age, when in the golden and silver age, when our sun and Sirius were close to
Yep,
each
yep,
other.
yep, yep, yep. I agree. You're right.
The energy and the
There are cosmic.
vibratory.
There are cosmic. Yeah, you're right. There are cosmic
Okay,
effects, things that are happening on a cosmic level that affects our evolution. You're right.
and this happens for only this alignment only lasts for 11,000 years. Okay, so as when they start moving further and further away from each other, we have to when we've reached our peak in the golden and silver age, we have to have gone to a certain level to where when we go back and everything starts, the energy is deteriorates. We have to have ourselves at a point where we don't deteriorate that much, that that a lot of the powers that we have in the golden and silver age don't go completely dormant in the
Right.
bronze iron age.
But long as we cultivate it, it will never go dormant. It's just like
Yeah,
how the pineal glands, if it's not active, you're not using it, it will go dormant. You know what I'm saying?
well, but and but at the same token though, when our sun and Sirius are further and further apart, that's when it's possible for those things to go dormant. But
Right.
as they
It's
start
possible.
closer,
It's late. It goes into latent dormant state. It's like in hibernation.
yeah,
All it takes
yeah,
is a certain divine spark to um, to spark that latent DNA. Right.
yeah, uh-huh. But what's really going to spark it as we get closer, as we start moving closer to Sirius again, which is not what the age of Aquarius is all about. We're moving in that direction towards the golden age again.
Right. Which is
So
the
as
which basically is the whole point of soul cycle alchemy, though. because we're going
Yeah.
through the alchemic process in our evolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, this is where
the book says they created cyber magic. AI is tipped into
tapped into the plane.
the astral plane where all
All
kind. At the
entities
end, but
thrive.
the thing about it is, it's hard for them to break through. So if they have done that, that's a
Mm-hmm.
big accomplishment for them. If they have done that, they've able to create
But
uh,
with the astro
AI
and
that
all that.
can actually astral project. If you got AI that can astral project, that's next level shit. We're gonna have to step up our game on another level now. I advise
Well,
look, I advise people to watch this new Dragon Ball Z movie. It's a new Dragon Ball Z movie out there. It's called
mm-hmm.
Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, man. They going the fuck in. They talking about what are we talking about? Because
Okay.
they got this genius in there. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a genius in there that's building what they call androids in that motherfucker. Remember, Cell was
Okay.
an android. Cell, and
So,
you know what I'm talking about. Cell was an
yeah, I
android.
know.
So, ooh, this shit.
And there was another one after Cell called named Baby.
Oh
He
my.
was supposed
Oh, baby was
Baby was supposed
devastating, boy.
to go beyond Cell, but they
Right,
got to it before they did.
right.
Yeah, but see, okay, now when those things are able to go to the mental plane, that's when we're really fucked. But okay, they can fuck us a little bit on the astral plane, but see, we got to go beyond the astral plane into the higher, the lower and higher.
I don't think they will ever be able to take artificial entities and make it be able to go access the astral plane. No, they will probably
No,
take.
no,
They could probably take a what you call it a cyborg, right? Which is half organic, half artificial. You could take a cyborg and maybe infiltrate that realm, in the psychic realm. I mean, because in order for you to go in the astral realm, you have to be connected to your divine self, which is
mm-hmm.
human. See, we don't understand how much your humanity is is a part of you gaining or accessing your divine self. Once you go through your humanity, you recognize your divinity. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole. Really, I think that's the whole purpose of humanity, to recognize our divinity. Well, that's one of them.
Well, I think I think it's the divinity within humanity that's gonna have the last word. That's gonna have the say so, and not humanity.
My point exactly. We saying the same thing. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm saying,
All right.
it's impossible for them to create an AI unless it's a
Mm.
cyborg. Like I said, it's a cyborg because a
Yeah.
cyborg is half robot and half human. Still, they may
Yeah.
be able
Half
to
or
break through, but then, like I said, in order to go to these realms, you have to be spiritually in time. Like I'm not saying that a cyborg, but guess what? If a cyborg go to the astral realm, his mission that he had that they programmed to give him, it will not be the same in the astral realm.
well, that's the emotional realm. It'll be yeah, that's an emotional realm. But check this out. He's talking about the solar flares are happening. Yeah. Yeah, that's because we're in the grand solar maximum.
Right.
And you have those big black spheres circling around the sun.
Well, if you people have been uh, noticing that all of the stars are behaving in such way, right? That they're flaring up and they're getting more intense. So this is not just
Mm.
happening to our sun. You know what I'm saying? This is happening on a universal cosmic level where things are basically intensifying in vibration, and what happens when this vibration intensifies the resonant frequency that we on, it takes it up another notch. We're going up another frequency in that resonant frequency, right? Which goes into the morphic field and how it affects the morphic field and how it affects the collective how the collective consciousness is affecting all of this. It's deep, bro. It's like we have to grab our powers back.
Well, that means, okay, as we're going into the golden age, we have to do the work, start reattaching our junk DNA, our other 10 strands of DNA back together and gain more access to our brain, because this civilization only have access to 1/10 of its brain capacity, because it's calcified civilization, calcified pineal gland civilization. And as people of melanin, us Moors, we got caught up in the game, and we're behaving like we were born with calcified pineal glands, although they probably are calcified now because of our lifestyle and everything, all the pollution in our environments. But if you were born to ascend, if you came here to do the work, your shit ain't gonna stay calcified. And your shit is gonna always uncalcify itself. It'll be like putting a perm on nappy hair and it'll be straight, and then the next day you have new growth of nappy hair underneath that shit.
But that's exactly what most of our people who got perms in their hair, that perm don't stay. That perm don't stay until you feel me. That shit be napping right back up the next day. You gotta put you gonna have to put a double perm in your shit, and that's what happened. Motherfuckers was putting double that shit in their shit, and they still start falling out. So now you got a gang of women out here with they shit bald, and they act like that's the style now. No, you bald your shit so much that you hate your natural look, and that's the problem. You hate how you look naturally, and I'm just speaking to our sisters. You better start embracing. That's what I mean by we got to get our power back, because we're not even embracing our power. Do you know how powerful that nappy hair is? Woo! Oh my God.
But see, another thing you gotta also understand that we are a watered down version of ourselves.
First of all, your hair is an antenna. This is why you're not having the intuitive that you used to have to the spirit realm. You gotta hear your hair is your connection to these other realms.
Yeah.
Right? It's an antenna, literally. So if you don't like who you are naturally, to the point where you destroy the main interface between the worlds, because your hair is your main interface between worlds. You know how when they talk about oh, I felt something and my hair stood up. Right, because the antenna is reacting to frequencies on a subtle frequency that on another higher tone overtone. And we just
the hair on my face, man, that shit just it feel like shit just walking all on my skin, and this shit just tingling. I mean, just vibrating and shit.
That's exactly what it is. It's giving you indications to that new signal that's coming in. The cosmic signal that's coming in, that's replacing this old vibration. You're gonna feel it at that level. You're gonna feel it. This is why you don't tamper with your natural anatomy. Don't fuck with. Don't stop tampering with that shit, because this is necessary. We think we can just, like, for example, people cut off their tonsils, right? Because the Western world says once they swole up, you don't need them no more. Man, do you know what the fuck you just did when you cut your tonsils out, dumbass? You would cut out a very important glands, a very important glands of the body, right? That comes online when this cosmic alignments happen, like you was talking about with Sirius, and when these cosmic alignments happen, your pineal, your glandular system, the glandular system, it's a seven. You got 7 glands. The motherfucking tonsils is one of those glands. So if imagine you pulled the motherfucker out. Come on, man. You just destroyed that chemical aspect, the chemical aspect of that alchemic process, because that gland secretes a certain oil, just like the pineal gland secretes an oil. It secretes a liquid. It secretes a certain chemical that aids you in this alchemic process that you're going within. That's the development, the spiritual development within. So you need all that, all those glands. The 7 glandular system is necessary.
Yeah.
We just look at it from the perspective of our physical existence, of the anatomy and our physical health. No, the glandular system is way more deeper than that. It's a spiritual device. It's a spiritual apparatus that allows us to waken up the soul at a gradual state.
You read this shit.
You know, NASA is trying to create a mental dust ring between the sun and the earth. This is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, these motherfuckers are like trying to box with God. Period. All those efforts, like I said, they trying to box with God. Your hands are too short to box with motherfucking gods. So
God is right there.
They're trying to make to try to throw off this or try to push their agenda to bring their wickedness around the cosmos is going to fail because of divine justice. Because my aunt said so.
But that's not only that.
What is my aunt is divine balance? Okay, that's not, it would not be balanced for them to be able to go beyond the dome anyway. Don't get it fucked up and think that they went anywhere beyond the dome. Stop it. Fuck out of here. We the only ones can go beyond the dome, okay? Stop it.
Yeah, well, they're trying to keep this reality from coming in, but it's nothing they can do about it. They can't block the sun because the sun is down here. We got sun. We're walking sun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So that's happening up there. It's happening down here too.
Right.
We're just off radiation.
I love that. You can't block the sun. The sun is down here. We're projecting up there, homie. That's nothing but a figment of the collective consciousness, man. Fuck out of here. And we get it fucked up and think that it's just humans engage in this collective consciousness. Man, wake up. There's way more than human entities on this. Remember what the Bible says. We're not battling flesh and blood. We're battling principalities, motherfuckers.
Yeah, really.
Y'all better get this shit by now. The hell?
Well, if they had gotten it by now, they would be one of the principalities. They would become a principality.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, to do battle against a principality, you have to become a principality.
Woo! Damn.
And you can only do that inwardly.
Wow.
And because that's where the battlefield is. And
that's what I'm talking about by gaining your power back, getting your power back. They've made you shun your power. That's what they're doing. That's how they getting you. They making you shun your own power.
Well, you're giving it away to technology. social media.
Right. Because
Yeah.
see, people don't understand the power of the spells. Man, they saying pay attention, right? So whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're paying attention to, you giving off your energy. They're literally sucking your life energy by you paying attention to them.
Yeah.
Literally. So you're paying for that. You're paying attention. Listen to the words, man. Y'all,
Mm-hmm.
y'all ain't even listening to it. Pay attention. Stop talk. People need to stop talking so much and just really just listen. They're telling you everything, right? Go, man. They saying everything, and it's crazy because they're telling you the truth, but you're so inundated with and indoctrinated with what they've convinced you of, and the mindset is like when you tell them people the truth, the mindset is like, okay, this is not what the news is saying. Okay, you the experts are not saying this. Okay, so you let me know that you are paying attention and they got you. They
Mm-hmm.
got you. You paying attention to what they want you to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You're not getting into the nuances. You're not going beyond. You're not thinking for yourself.
you're
Right.
not you're trapped in the box. You're in the box.
Right.
This little box they got a whole lot of people in, and the most people that are the most educated, they're the ones first ones in the box. They're the main ones in the box.
Well, it's in their political interest to be in the box because all science that is being presented to us is politically motivated. So everything
Yeah,
they present to us as science, it has nothing to do with actual observation of the reality around us. Because first you have to be thoroughly mindful of the reality around you. This Western world,
mhm.
this Western world has no idea about reality, or they don't teach it.
The only thing this Western world teaches is how to capitalize off of everything in this reality and to put a price on everything, a value. They see everything as a commodity that can be bought and sold.
And that's the philosophy of the masses too.
Yep,
So, and it's a religion.
yep.
Capitalism is
Mm,
the religion. That is the underlying religion. So fuck Islam, fuck Christianity, fuck all. It's all capitalism. Stop it. Fuck,
oh, well, now it's
let's
going
even go
social.
deeper. Let's even go deeper. Fuck communism. Fuck socialism. Fuck democracy. Fuck no, it's all capitalism.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, because
all of it is
it's
disguised capitalism when you think about it, bro.
yeah, it's either capitalism for the few, capitalism for the very few, and no capitalism for any of you. Well,
And
that's
the
us.
thing about it is crazy. What's so crazy? The American people, right? We have become so programmed to where nothing that you eat today is food. It's not nutritional. All that stuff that they give you is some shit that they create in a goddamn laboratory while they hoard all the actual natural resources. What have they done recently? They regulated the farms and they told them don't grow shit that the government don't want you to grow. So farms
Yeah,
don't grow shit. Now you got this phenomenon of what you call farmers markets, right? Farmers markets, right?
yeah,
It had to go to this because the what happens is the government had pushed all of these farms out of so much out of business to where they say you can only produce or farm this certain thing product
hmm,
where now you have to expand the farmer markets now, like local farms. Like you got farms like every here and there. they become little market, little farms where people
Mm-hmm.
store little stuff here and there in the neighborhood. They had to do that because all of the regulations of the government. Now they talking about there's law that said you can't grow certain shit, you can't grow this unless the government gives you a license to grow it and shit. No, this is the
Yeah,
bullshit. This is the bullshit. I'm trying to tell y'all.
they're trying to control all the
Bullshit,
resources.
right?
Well, that's because they still want to reduce the population to a 500 million people.
I mean, they
So that
they are being very successful in that respect. Didn't they just kill 100,000 people in that last earthquake? And then Haiti earthquake, I just learned that Haiti earthquake killed a couple of 100,000 too, damn near a million people in Haiti's
well, how
earthquake.
many people? Well, it's only so many people in Haiti. Okay, it's just an island.
I heard a lot of people died in that, but
Well,
I,
yeah, a lot.
I digress.
Yeah,
I digress. But
yeah,
I'm just saying.
people, yeah, but 50,000 people died in the earthquake in Turkey. But that's going to be nothing. Wait till the shit start happening over here.
Oh
Wait
yeah,
till if
yeah,
where
yeah.
the
It's going
Yellowstone go
down.
off.
It's going
What?
down, and I'm not. My thing is, I don't really feel sorry for people, man. I don't. I'm just being real because these warnings have been. Y'all have been getting these warnings for years. So if you've ignored it all these years, if you
Well,
just
it makes the only thing you can prepare is inwardly. You can prepare
my point exactly,
physically.
my point exactly.
Yeah, you can
You
do
gotta get
everything
emotionally
you.
ready, psychologically ready. You gotta get emotionally and
Mhm.
psychologically ready for what the fuck you about to witness.
Yeah,
This is gonna be a doozy, y'all. It's gonna be a goddamn doozy.
you might not make it to your survival point where everything you had set up, all your supplies, when the shit starts happening, you might be on vacation or something. What if you're on vacation and the shit goes off? You can't get back to where your survival post.
That I mean, I get that, but that don't mean I'm not gonna be prepared though. So I'm not
Yeah,
fuck all
you
that.
prepared, but
I get that. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, then fine, fine, fine. But that ain't. I'm still gonna be prepared though. Fuck that.
yeah,
And I've been
but
preparing myself
you
for over. Me personally,
but
I've been
you
preparing
might you
myself
might
for
have
over
been
20 years now. So, and I'm
you
not only
might have
talking
prepared.
about psychologically and mentally. I'm talking about man. I'm talking. It's about to go down. It's about to
But
fucking
every,
down. And I've been waiting for it. I ain't gonna lie, I've been waiting. I've been like, let's do it. Let's do it. I've been like 1999, let's do it. 2012, let's do it. I'm like, let's do this shit, man. Let's do this. I'm ready. Even though
well, I tell you one
people around
thing.
me are oblivious, I'm like, look, even though the people around me are totally oblivious and got a clue, I love that shit. I love it.
Well, all I know, I want shit to start opening up. I want DNA to start coming back online. I,
Woo! Thank you! Yes! That's what I'm talking
okay,
about! That's what I'm
yeah,
talking about when this shit, oh my God. Oh,
yeah. So
it's already
wait,
happening. Oh, no,
I
no,
can
oh, no,
manifest
fuck that, fuck that.
reality the way I want it
Look,
to.
look, look, check
Shit,
this out, bro. That shit is already happening right now. The DNA is
yeah,
coming online now, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
okay,
We doing
yeah,
magic shit right now. We just don't even realize it right now because we still in that old mindset. This shit is happening.
yeah,
The
yeah.
DNA is coming online. They all already there. It's like a culmination of things that's happening all at once, and it's gonna thrust us into this to that latent DNA gonna pop up and look. So
See,
many, so many. Look, this is so many people have talked about this, right? That latent DNA that comes online when something calamity happens or something earth ending happens, right? And I
yeah.
want to see what comes online, man.
Oh man, I've already experienced this. I have like a inner experience with this every night when I'm working out. because after we do so many exercises, we put so much trauma and shock our body in so much trauma and shock until where after we finish our first three exercises, we have like this mental ritual where, we like, mine is where I turn all my chakras come on and start spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and everything around me starts levitating. And then a fucking vortex open up in the sky, and that shit, something lightning come out the sky, and my shit come up, and then meets each other, and that shit turns into a fucking nuclear explosion and destroys everything.
Right. I told you about
Yeah.
it's a ritual. Look, it's a ritual where it was that a ritual, a mental ritual that I've been doing, right? Where I'm actually meeting up with my my alternate reality, and we're doing a synchronicity ritual,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it looks like a spiral up and down for of endless versions of myself, endless versions of myself, and we all synchronizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That shit is hard as fuck. Why? Because when you are all on different and we're not aware of each other, we elude each other. It's hard to find all of the different as the different alternate versions of myself because
Mm-hmm.
they elude each other. They not a they. It's, this shit is dope, bro. It's a dope practice that y'all should be doing this practice right here because
Mm.
once you align, synchronize all your alternate self. This is like, for example, what they're doing in the whole Star Wars. I mean, Spider-Man multiverse series. If you look at what Spider-Man doing, well, he's joining with all of his alternate selves, right?
Oh, yeah, I do that in rituals. I mean, doing going up and down the tree of life. And there's
Right.
a me in Ashia, there's a me in Berea, there's a me in Yetzirah, there's a me in the Great Abyss, there's a me in Absolute.
In the journey, you have to be able to, in a sense, line the energies because y'all have a sense of each other. Like, oh, I sense you. I sense something about you, but y'all can't necessarily interact with each other. So that's like
Yeah.
that's a hard part of the ritual, right? It's just like like how they talking about how when a time traveler goes back to the past and meets up with himself, it's gonna cause time adulations and shit, right? It's gonna cause time adulations, meaning ripples in the time stream, right?
Yeah.
There are
It
certain
just start.
techniques they can do. It's certain techniques they can do where they won't cause an effect on the time stream. But we gotta get ready to go. He said
Okay.
you have a doppelganger too. Doppelganger too. I have ran into people that look like me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is just what you're talking about with doppelgangers. That's just a result of how this stuff is so prevalent on a multidimensional level that it manifests itself in the physical world. In the physical world too. Yes, you might have people who look exactly like you that, and we call them doppelgangers or whatever. But some people exaggerate. But it's just like that reality manifesting itself.
Well, you have a lot of people that participate in a certain phenotype. They have a certain phenotype that's very. I know there's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have the same phenotype that I belong to the same phenotype as certain people.
Right. I mean that's true because some certain people who come from a certain genetic tribes and stuff, they feature those people in that particular tribe and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big phenomenon too. When you deal with genetics, genetics is a big part of understanding how humanity has become this diversified, uh, different these different alleles. because it's not different races, it's different alleles, and alleles are nothing but expressions of the polymorphins, the expressions
Mm-hmm.
of the polymorphins when the reproduction happened in the split, whatever is alleles that is expression of that. So it's not just the mutations that happen with the Europeans or whatever. The mutation that happened with the Europeans, right, is a perfect example of how there are not the same genetic process that we come from. We come out of. We come from
Mm-hmm.
organic, you know what I'm saying, genetic process. Even though that has been interfered with because
Oh yeah.
some people have breeded with the inbred or they have breeded with the Neanderthals or the subhumans. So now
Yeah.
we got that mutation in our genetics. But yeah, we want to get into the last words, bro. I gotta go. I gotta go to the next show. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We gotta get the last
Well,
words.
last words. Well, next week, before Cinco de Mayo, we have another FOMC meeting, and they're gonna hike interest rates again and completely invert everything, which is another sign that we're just weeks or months away from something very, very catastrophic. Very catastrophic. And
And
this is going to
I
be like in the coffin.
and I advise people that okay, if you want to look at it from your human self, from a human perspective, that's fine. But I'm
Uh
saying
huh.
also look at it from your multidimensional self perspective. Look at it from the soul point of view. Look at it from the spiritual point of view, right?
Yeah. Well.
Even look at
Yeah.
it from the mental spirit. I mean, the emotional, psychological, and mental point of view. All
Well,
I'm
I
saying
think.
is, if you want to stick with just a human point of view,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be make it worse for yourself. You're gonna make it worse for you. You know what I'm saying? Because really, it's beyond your humanity. We're transcending humanity. So of course,
Yeah.
your humanity is going to feel the effects. That was my last words, and I'll see y'all next Saturday if that's your last words, brother.
My last. Well, you see what's coming, and you get ready for it on all levels. We're going
Right.
to get challenged on all levels, and that's going to be great because this is what's going to wake up the sleeping dragon, the sleeping giant, the sleeping titan.
The sleeping tidy. Yep. The
Okay.
enemy is and death is no enemy of man. We out.
No. Yeah, we're out.